On Éamon Ó Cuív to discuss the need to respond to Galway County Council in relation to the N59 Galway to Clifden road upgrade. Beidir go mai tú an písa am a hábhaldam tá mé tír den am.
Well, bei sé deachar mar is olda téin tá nobar seo testa go práinach ar a mochar seo agus caim a cás láidirí anna. Minister, the N59 as a coastal national secondary route was included in Transport 21. Now the idea was that those parts of the country that were very far away from the national primary routes would have a decent national secondary route to service them. There's 113 kilometres of N59 in Galway, 80 kilometres from Galway to Clifden and 33 kilometres from Clifden to Leenane. Priority was given subsequently to the section from Galway to Clifden. 10 years ago, planning permission was given to upgrade the N59 from Oireachtas to Mam Cross. But there was a condition with the planning permission that method statements had to be agreed with your department, the National Parks and Wildlife, which is part of your department and not an independent agency. There was a standoff over these method statements for years, and eventually agreement was given to do a section of the road from Bunnakill as far as Mam Cross, and that was completed in 2021. Based on the very successful upgrade of that road, and anybody who travels that road knows how safe the new section of road is compared to the other section. The other section is highly dangerous. In December 2021, method statements were submitted to your department. The method statement in relation to the topographical survey was confirmed in July 22, but further questions were raised in relation to the ground investigations and archaeological investigation, and further information was provided in September 22. So now we have a situation where these statements were provided to your department September of last year. We're now in the middle of April. And there seems to be an inordinate delay in making decisions, and it's not as if we don't have a working model as how to make sure there is no leachate into the groundwater or into the lakes or into the rivers, irrespective of weather. In the meantime, the land for the section of road, the 2/3 left to be done, has been purchased and fenced by TII. And as I've said, this road is very, very deficient and is a danger to people who have to travel it either frequently or those who use it for going on their holidays or whatever other purpose they have for going to that part of Connemara. It's also deficient for buses. And again, we need more and more buses on that particular route. So, Minister, I suppose the question is quite simple. What work has been done since September? Can you outline in detail what work has been done since September 22? Why is there such a delay in deciding on method statements? And when will a decision be made so that this road can proceed to development, either in two sections or one? I understand that the idea is to do the next section from Bunnakill, a third of the way in to Oireachtas and the final third again. So you might be very explicit and give me this detailed information, because it looks as if the department is once again sitting on development in Connemara.
The Deputy will be aware that the staff of the National Parks and Wildlife Service has been working closely with Galway County Council in relation to this project. The development of the Oireachtas to Mam Cross section was approved by An Bord Pleanála, as Deputy has said, in December 2013. A condition of the consent was that prior to the commencement of the construction stage erosion and sediment control plan and all method statements would be finalised by the construction stage contractor and will be subject to the approval of Galway County Council and the agreement of the NPWS and IFI. In July 2022, a method statement was prepared by Galway County Council, which outlined a methodology for topographical survey along the N59 Éamon Ó Cuív to Oughterard as part of the overall N59 Mamcross Oughterard project, and which was approved. Further method statements, one relating to ground investigation and a second relating to archaeological investigations, were submitted in September 22, and these are being considered now by the MPWS. This is a complex case in a designated area, namely the Loch Corrib SAC, which comprises of 24 separate qualifying interests, including a number of priority habitats and European protected species as set out in the Habitats Directive. In order to ensure a proper outcome, to process the development, review and improvement of method statements, great care is being exercised. Advices are being sought in relation to a number of technical, scientific and administrative matters in order to inform full and due consideration of the matter as is warranted. And I do appreciate the Deputy's wish to see the project and the local community desire to see the project progressed. But the Deputy will appreciate that we do need to tread carefully in relation to this, given the environmental sensitivities. And I can assure the Deputy that the officials from the National Parks and Wildlife Service are working on the issue as a priority. I will ensure that they continue to do that and revert to Galway County Council as soon as possible.
Éamon Ó Cuív.
I have to say that the reply is very, very weak. Because the reality is that they've been working on this for 10 years, because prior to approving the Éamon Ó Cuív section, the original plan had been to do the whole road. And there were a lot of discussions and ongoing discussions. I was over in the department myself in the intervening years in relation to method statements. So it's not yesterday, today, that this issue arose. Now, the second thing I think should be understood, that if the road was built, this is the irony of it, if the road was built, and to the modern standards where you've got settlement pools and so on, so you don't allow the runoff of the road go directly into the streams, it would be much better for the ecology. So that's not an issue. Everyone knows that a well-designed road, modern road, is a way better in terms of leachate from the road into the streams than a badly designed traditional road as we'd have in Connemara. So the issue revolves around a simple matter, and that is, can the road be built taking unexpected weather events into account without some damage being caused in the actual building of the road due to the weather? And it was for that reason that the Éamon Ó Cuív section to Mamcross was allowed go ahead. There were qualifying interests there, but they were not so severe as in this second section of the road, and that was granted. So it was felt that that would become your test case to make sure that, taking all the kind of Connemara weather that you get, and there was dry periods and very wet periods during the construction of that road, could you ensure there was no leachate getting into the water bodies? And if you travel the new bit of road, you'll see water on all sides of it. And that, my understanding, was successful. So, can I ask you, can you be a lot more explicit, either today or send it to me in writing, exactly what work has been done since September 22 to date that has delayed this so long? Who has this technical advice been sought from? When was it sought? Why wasn't it sought before that? And finally, like the wildlife bill, as soon as possible is becoming a sick joke in this house. As soon as possible means it's on the merada. Agus got, the fist kinur a yuha fragra. Tomudigiri kinne. No, tomudigiri daughter when the my kinne ein.
So, if used to the Deputy, I think what we might do is provide a briefing to you, if that's, I think, a more detailed briefing. I can't give you the full response in terms of the information you're seeking here from me this morning, but I think it might be useful to give you a detailed briefing from MPWS staff in relation to the project, and that might be of assistance in terms of providing where we are in terms of timeline. In relation to the Wildlife Amendment Act, we are progressing, and it is on the order paper, so I do hope we will make progress on that this year. Thank you.